So, in New York Times, one of their articles from October 2015 said that Lustig and his colleagues think that they've produced the hard and fast data that sugar is toxic, irrespective of its calories and irrespective of weight of the individual. And I think that's very true, and so I'm planning on persuading you guys to eat less sugar. I have hypoglycemia, so I've been struggling with sugar and have been learning about ways to regulate it my whole life. So, and I've also been researching a lot more for the past couple weeks to prepare for this speech. So, a major problem recently has been a lot more people getting type 2 diabetes within the world and the United States itself. So, in the world, there are, right now there are 382 million people that have type 2 diabetes, and within the next 20 years it's expected to go up 55%. And that is after it has already gone up 100% from 1980 to now. So it's become a huge, and that's according to the WHO, World Health Organization, study that they put out. And so that is a very alarming number because it shouldn't be going up. And the biggest group of people that actually have that are getting type 2 diabetes are low to middle income families, which is a majority of the world and majority of countries. And so with people starting to acquire type 2 diabetes more often, it's becoming the going to become the seventh highest killer of people disease-wise worldwide. And that's including like cancer and just other stuff like that. So it's very dangerous even without it. And then there are a lot of health problems that are caused even outside of type 2 diabetes, such as kidney problems, people getting their legs amputated, heart attacks, heart problems, just a whole slew of problems. So the cause of those problems are the body not effectively using the insulin that it produces when you intake the sugar. So especially if you have a very sugar-heavy lifestyle and you eat a lot of sugar, your body is constantly producing insulin, and so when you stop eating that sugar, the insulin is still being produced, and it causes some major issues within organs like your kidneys and stuff like that. And so insulin is what your body uses to get rid of sugar within the system and to basically to use the sugar in your body. So without insulin being used, or you constantly producing insulin with no sugar, it's bad. Type 2 diabetes is also, and a lot of health problems are also caused by being overweight, which is also a side effect of sugar, because sugar is basically just straight calories and straight fat that your body, especially processed sugars, that your body doesn't need to live. So it just stores that in fat, and it also stores it sometimes in your bloodstream depending on how much sugar you intake, which can cause clogged arteries, and that's very dangerous as well because that leads to heart attacks. So some solutions that I found, especially in Jeff O'Connell's book called Sugar Nation, The Hidden Truth Behind America's Deadliest Habit and the Simple Way to Beat It. one of the easiest ways to reduce your sugar intake is to eat nature's sugar, basically, which is fruit. Fruit is very good for your body. It's the type of sugar that your body is able to process very easily because it's not chemically created and it's found in nature, and your ancestors have been eating them for thousands of years, so our body has adapted to eating fruits and being able to process that. Another way, and especially for the people who, because eating fruits constantly is very expensive. Fruit is expensive, and so the people that can't afford fruit all the time, another way to cut down on sugar intake is to eat before you go shopping, because when you go shopping on an empty stomach, you start having cravings, and when you have cravings, you go out and you start buying whatever looks good to fill those cravings, and that usually is sugar, carbohydrates, like chocolate, candy, all of the bad things that you don't need specifically in your diet are bought at that point in time. Another way to reduce that is, instead of reaching for a pop or having 2 or 3 pops a day, just cut 1 pop out per day. That will reduce your sugar intake levels significantly, and it's not that big of an issue. Just take a bottle of water instead of having the pop, and you can also put different flavorings within that pop within the water if you're really craving some flavor. And then another way is fennel seeds. They're a type of grain that is actually like really sweet, and it's really healthy for you. It helps your body produce insulin to process the sugars after dinner. It also helps it's basically like a weight type thing. You eat it after dinner, it reduces your sugar intake, it's good for your body, and it's also a suppressant for your stomach, and you feel more full. So, eat less sugar. Thank you.